What's going on, guys? It's been a busy week this week, and we're only 2 days in. 2 days in, we've got a Streets of Rage 4 trailer, which I did not think we would ever see. So, I had to look outside to see if pigs were flying. Seriously, I love those games. I never thought we would get another one. I thought we would get uh, another Dead Space before we got another Streets of Rage. That's insane that we Streets of Rage beat Dead Space out. And we finally got to see some gameplay for Cyberpunk. Finally. And I've saw articles about a hidden apology in that game. I call bullshit. I don't believe it. But it's been a crazy week, but it's been a crazy week in a bad way too. I guess this week was the week to attack Comicsgate. I don't know. I know some big thing kicked up about some comic artist passed away recently, and his widow came out to attack Comicsgate for whatever reason. And then all these other comic pros decided to attack Comicsgate. And those guys don't need defending. They don't. They do just fine on their own. And they're a great bunch of guys. Ethan Van Sciver and Diversity in Comics. I love those guys. I watch those guys. They're great. But I really don't see what the point of coming out and throwing shade at them right now is. Jeff Lemire on Comicsgate. The time is now to speak up. The time is now to speak up because Comicsgaters are making insane amounts of money with their Indiegogo campaigns. And people like Jeff Lemire are butthurt about it because they work for DC or they work for Marvel and their comics are sitting on the shelf because nobody wants your forced diversity crap, your social justice agenda garbage. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. Look, check it out. Picking his nose. That's it. I want to poke your brain, Jeff Lemire. Let's see what Jeff Lemire had to say. Writer-artist Jeff Lemire has elaborated on his stance against Comicsgate, a movement whose members generally oppose what they view as the forced diversification of mainstream comics. What we view as that, yeah, that's what it was. No viewing it, we calling it like we see it. Their crusade has frequently resulted in online targeting of female, LGBT, and ethnic minority creators, and those dubbed social justice warriors under the guise of criticism. I've not seen these. If you've got these tweets, send them my way. FM Viper on Twitter. I'll look at them. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I haven't seen that. Every group has a couple of bad apples in them that do stupid shit. But from what I've seen, Comics Gators as a whole, especially the fans, are decent folks that just want to read books without a bunch of crap in them. Without your social justice agenda. Known for a body of work that ranges from Essex County and Sweet Tooth to Old Man Logan and Descender, Lemire joined acclaimed artist Bill, I can't even pronounce that, and others last week in pushing back against Comicsgate following the online harassment of Marcia Cook, wife of the late cartoonist Darwin Cook. Comicsgate is based on fear, intolerance, bigotry, and anger. No, it's not. Lemire tweeted on August 22nd, the comics creators emerging today are too talented, too smart, and too loud to be beaten by these weak people. It's time that we all stand up for one another. Who even pays you, Jeff Lemire? Do you make money? Do you make it now? I mean, comics are pretty well tanking, so guess you got nothing better to do than to get on Twitter and bitch, huh, buddy? The Eisner Award winner elaborated Friday in a blog post in which he urged the comics creators to take a public stand against the targeted harassment campaign. I had hoped more creators who, like me, have had the privilege to create comics free of this sort of abuse and scrutiny because we are white and we are men. There it is. Because we are white and we are men, and you highlighted everything. Would have joined me in denouncing Comicsgate, he wrote. In part, I know many of you feel the way that I do. I noticed that many popular and significant creators liked my tweet, and that's great, but it's not enough. If we can't use our voices to stand up for the next generation of comic creators, editors, and the next wave of voices that will keep our medium alive and vital, then what's the point of having them? The time is now to stand up for female comic book creators. Time is now to stand up for transsexuals. The time is now to stand up for all sexual orientations, races, and religions. If we don't do that, we don't deserve to keep making comics. You're not going to keep making comics. In about 2 years' time to 3 years' time, comics is going to be a dead medium. Nobody's going to care anymore because people like you ruined it. People like you with your virtue signaling and your social justice garbage have ruined comics. And what kills me is you have a big company like Marvel. These people can literally show their ass and not get fired. Be the most unprofessional person ever and not get fired. I'll show you. Look, literally show their ass. Robbie Rodriguez, who is a part-timer at DC, literally, here's the tweet, literally showed his ass. He sent a picture of his anus to Ethan Van Sciver. And as far as I know, nothing was done about it. This is the censored tweet. This is the censored pics. And you've got sites like Bleeding Cool here who want to downplay the whole thing. It's like, they're like, oh, it's just reaching for another James Gunn. No. Nobody was reaching for another James. This has nothing to do with that. This is unprofessional. I don't care where you work. If you work at McDonald's, if you tweet a picture of your rectum out, you need to be fired. If I did this and put my name on it and sent it to somebody at my job or in my career that I did not like, I would be fired tomorrow. I would be fired tomorrow for this. But this is acceptable behavior. This is acceptable behavior for comic pros. This is what we do now. This is the world we live in. As long as you're a good little virtue signaling SJW asshole, you're fine. You can keep your job. There's no nothing that comes down for this. Robbie Rodriguez, co-creator of Spider-Gwen and the upcoming Goddess mode for DC Vertigo, decided to show Ethan Van Sciver exactly what he thought of him by burying his ass cheeks at him and tweeting the results stating, hey, I made some fuck off tweets, but also fuck you comic gatorers, and really fuck Ethan Van Sciver. Hope to get this, and this is acceptable. This is okay. This is all right. And people apparently were talking about I don't know. Ethan Van Sciver, someone who doesn't hatefully send a fellow professional a photo of their asshole. What constitutes a normal person? That's just Man, this is what world have I woke up in this week where this kind of shit can happen? I'm I don't know. They have literally lost their minds. They have literally lost their minds. It's this is I didn't want to blow that up. I really didn't even want to see that. I don't know, you guys. This is I've never quite seen anything like this in a professional circle, but here it is. I don't know. Hey, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Likes, dislikes, disgruntled opinions, whatever. And I will catch you guys back next time.